Hello, parishioners of St. Gabriel and St. Bridget. Father Dustin here. I wanted to just take 10 or 15 minutes and post a video regarding what we'll be walking back into in our churches this coming weekend. That is the weekend of November 14 and 15. I had a chance to sit down and meet with our parish's combined liturgy committee. We had a great discussion this past week, and among other things, we discussed recently, or the recent announcement of Governor Holcomb, where he's backing Indiana back out of stage 5. And he's leaving a lot of kind of the decisions up to the county, the various counties in Indiana, and their color coding system that the Indiana Department of Health oversees. So if you're not familiar with the color coding system, every Wednesday at noon, counties are classified under various colors, 4 colors to be exact, either red, orange, yellow, or blue. And what determines that, you can go read on the Indiana Department of Health website. But suffice it to say, we all know numbers are up of COVID, and our 2 counties, Fayette County and Union County, are currently in the red. So the liturgy committee recommended, and I think we're going to do it. They recommended that we develop a protocol kind of system that is more dependent on those color codings of our counties. So we have done that, that's what we're going to be walking into today. I think there's an advantage to having a protocol system that is more based on what color is going on or what color our counties are currently in. And then parishioners are going to be able to anticipate, okay, well, if we're in orange or we're in yellow, I know what to expect at the weekend's masses. So that should be already on our website and social media, and certainly invite you to review it. And I'll go through it here toward the end of this. But I want to just remind us, what has been our parish's goal since the beginning of Reopen? And our goal with concerning, and why are we going to be more strict with protocols right now? Our goal, remember, is first and foremost, we want parishioners to feel safe in making the decision to come to Mass. I know that protocols are frustrating for some, for many maybe, and we're tired of it, and I get that. I totally sympathize with that. I get tired of it too. But the protocols that we have in place, and that we're going to even be more in place, and just so you know, these protocols are not going to be unfamiliar. But those protocols make the difference for many of our parishioners. If it weren't for exactly what we're doing, they would make the decision to not come to Mass simply because they wouldn't feel safe to come to Mass. And so these protocols are there especially for so that everyone can feel safe coming to Mass. The goal is not to make people not be frustrated. I know that some are going to be frustrated. The goal primarily is to help everyone feel safe when they walk into our churches. And so hopefully everyone does have that sense. I will say, over these last several weeks, as we've kind of relaxed our protocols since we've entered into stage 5, back on track in Indiana, the governor's plan, there have been people that have stopped coming to Mass, that have said, nope, I don't feel good coming to Mass right now. And that's not good. We don't want to discourage people from coming to Mass simply because we are relaxing our protocols. So hopefully this new system of protocols will be a little bit more anticipatory. We'll know what to expect, and people aren't just kind of walking into, there's one less protocol. So we want people to feel good coming to Mass. Our second goal, guys, is we don't want to be shut down. None of us, no one, wants to give anyone else any reason to ever again close our parishes. And so while that decision sometimes in at many levels lies elsewhere, there's not anything we can do. It's not going to be us that makes that decision. It's going to be probably first, if it were to happen, it's going to be government officials. It's going to be local officials. Could be the archdiocese. But none of us wants to close our parishes. We know that. But we can do things and be proactive to ensure that we are not part of the problem. And that's what we want to do is goal 2 is we want to do our part to make sure that we don't get shut down. We don't want to be the reason why someone says, look at churches, look at what they're doing. They're part of the problem. They're not doing anything. We want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to not go through another shutdown. I'm sure we've all seen in the news, there's lots of places all throughout Europe that are closing down again. I know in Chicago, I just read that they have another 30-day stay-at-home order. There's places in the United States, as close as Oxford, Ohio, where churches have not been reopened. Ours are, we want to keep it that way, and we want to make sure we're doing everything that we can to keep it that way. So I'm asking everyone's patience and flexibility when it comes to implementing protocols. So those are the 2 goals. Make sure anyone who wants to make the decision to come to Mass, that they can come to Mass and feel safe and feel good about that decision. Secondly, we want to do everything we can to ensure that our churches don't get shut down. We are essential. We never want to go through the pain of what it's like to be told that we're non-essential. We are essential. So what's the stages? This weekend in the bulletin, it's going to be published. It's on our Facebook page, I think, right now. It is on our parish's website. And what you will see is a letter that looks like this that describes what will be the protocols in the various stages of red, orange, yellow, or blue. So red is the most critical color, and that's what our counties are in. So we are in the most critical stage, and so the red and orange, which is the second most critical, that will be where there are the strictest protocols. But before we kind of go into distinguishing the various levels of protocols, what's still expected in all levels, whether we're in blue, which is the best color to be, or in red, the most critical. First, masks are still required to be worn in our churches, whether we're at Mass, whether we're at adoration, whether we're coming to confession. So masks are still required, and I know they're not easy to wear for everyone, and I appreciate your patience in that, and everyone that has done such a great job. We really are doing a great job with mask wearing in our churches. Also, it's still required that we use hand sanitizer, right? That hand sanitizer at the entrance, at the entrances of both of our churches. I'd also recommend that we bring maybe a small bottle of hand sanitizer with us to our pew. Bring that with you from home. Use that before you come up for Holy Communion. So that's going to be still there in all stages. It's still the case that if you are sick, if you have COVID, if you're symptomatic in any way, please stay home. If anyone in your household is sick, has COVID, or is symptomatic, everyone in that household should not come to Mass. If you have been closely exposed to COVID-19, if you are in quarantine by order of, let's say, the school, please do not come to Mass. And it's not trying to be mean. It is, we need to do what we can, everything we can to make sure that our churches stay open. We need to do everything that we can, especially to make sure that everyone that is able to come and making the decision to come to Mass, that they feel good about that, that they feel safe and that they can keep coming. We will continue to not require reservations. I don't see any reason to bring that back at this point. So no one is going to be required to make reservations to come to Mass on a regular basis. So we aren't bringing that back. Hopefully that's welcome news for everybody. But okay, so what are the kind of various distinctions of protocols as it concerns the colors? So in that letter, you're going to read that in red, in stages red and orange, or colors red and orange, when either of our counties is in red or orange. Even if Fayette County's in blue and Union County's in orange, we're going to treat it as both counties are in orange. So red or orange, this is what they are. Every other pew, and this is what it's going to be when you walk in this weekend, every other pew is roped off again. So we'll have the ropes up. Everyone who comes into the church is going to be ushered to a seat. Guys, I know that we have our seats and what we're used to, and it's a beautiful thing that people have. Like, this is my pew. It's been my pew ever since I was a kid, or for the last 10 years. That's a wonderful thing. However, I'm asking everyone to please follow the directives of the ushers. It's really important, because especially on Sunday mornings, because our numbers are growing on Sunday mornings, if we are going to maintain social distancing, we have to very strategically seat people in our churches. So please, if an usher tells you to sit somewhere where you would prefer not to sit, please go ahead and sit there. Please do not move seats. That has happened in the past when ushers were ushering people to seats, that they'll sit there, and then as soon as the usher leaves, they'll get up and move to wherever they want in the church. Guys, it's really important that we just suck it up and sit where we're needed and asked to sit. So please do that. So in red and orange, ropes are going to be up. We'll be ushered to seats. We will continue to do communion where we are currently doing communion, distributing Holy Communion at the normal time, the pre-COVID time, where it is supposed to be distributed. However, in red and orange, if we want to keep communion in that place, in its normal place, everyone needs to leave church immediately after Mass. That's all to say, please do not talk to one another. Please don't congregate in the church and hang out and talk to one another. I know that's something we greatly missed in those times when everyone had to leave right after Mass and communion was done after Mass. But guys, again, I'm going to ask us to recall the two goals: that everyone can feel good about coming to Mass, that they feel safe, and B, we don't want to be shut down. We don't want to contribute to the spread of COVID-19. We want to do everything we can to decrease the spread. We don't want to be a part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. So we will keep communion at its normal place as long as, in red and orange, as long as people leave right after Mass. If you want to hang out outside, and I know it's getting colder, please catch up outside, social distance, all that. But that's a much better place to catch up than inside the church right now. If you want to stay behind after Mass and pray, you are welcome to do that. But please do not congregate. Please don't hang out with other people inside the church in red or orange. Also, in red or orange, I'm going to bring back this recommendation to help alleviate the pressures on Sunday morning Masses at St. Gabriel and St. Bridget. I recommend that if you can go to a Mass during the week or on Saturday evening, please do so. Please consider making use of going to Mass. If your goal is to make Mass at least one time a week, please consider using a Mass during the week or on Saturday evening. It's much easier to seat everyone in a social distanced way during the week and on Saturday evening. So in red and orange, quick review, ropes are up. Ushers are going to seat people. No congregating inside the church before or after Mass. After the final blessing and the hymn is concluded, please proceed to leave Mass. Unless you're going to stick around and just make a few prayers of thanksgiving, totally awesome. We want our churches there. That's primarily what our churches are for, is a space to pray. Secondarily there for kind of us catching up with one another. So let's make sure that people can stick around and pray, and the rest of us, if we're ready to just head on out. And then in red and orange, if you can make Mass during the week or on Saturday evening, please consider using those Masses versus one of the Sunday morning Masses. Okay, so that's red or orange. In yellow, So when our counties are when either one of our counties are in yellow, when we're yellow, every other pew is still going to be roped off. Parishioners, though, will be able to seat themselves. Ushers won't be directing you to seats, but in yellow, when you seat yourself, you do need to maintain social distancing. Please seat yourself from front to back of the church. As we know, folks just have a busy morning and they're rolling into Mass right before it begins, or maybe just right after it happens. We want to make sure that those folks that are showing up at that time have pews that they can just slip into in the back of church. So if you get there early, go to the front. So we want to seat ourselves from front to back of church in yellow. So ropes will still be up, but you can seat yourselves in yellow. Ushers will be there to assist as needed. They might need to step in. And communion will continue to be distributed during the normal time. In yellow, though, after Mass, if you want to catch up with someone briefly in the church, you're welcome to do so long as social distancing is maintained. So there's a relaxation of being seated, how to be seated at Mass. It's still social distance, but you're not going to be ushered to your seats unless the ushers need to step in. And then there's also a relaxing of being able to just say hi to someone, check in with a family, see how they're doing immediately after Mass. So that's stage yellow. In blue, which is the best stage we can be in, parishioners will be seating themselves from front to back according to social distancing guidelines. Ropes won't be up. Communion still during Mass, of course, and people are welcome to congregate socially distanced, of course. So that's just a brief explanation of these stages, kind of what to expect in the coming weeks and months. It does bear saying that, let's say Fayette County is in red and Union County is in yellow, then both of our parishes, though, are going to act as if we are in red, because we do have enough people going to either church, and it's, so we want to make sure that we're on the same page, all doing the same thing, and doing what we can to make sure that everyone who comes to Mass feels good about the decision, they feel safe about it, and that we're doing everything we can to not get shut down. We don't want to contribute to the problem. We want to be a part of the solution. So, guys, keep being patient with it. Each weekend when you come in, you'll see what color we're currently in, and you'll be able to anticipate. We'll also blast that out through Facebook. You'll be able to anticipate, what to expect at the coming weekend. It's going to help everyone, I think, make good decisions. Any questions, don't hesitate. It's awesome to see you guys at Mass. I hope you guys keep coming, and I hope you can feel good about coming to Mass. Know of my prayers. Have a great weekend, and hope to see you Saturday or Sunday. God bless. Bye.